good morning. Today we're going to do a shoulder routine. So we're just going to get you to start with your hands over your chest. You can have them in prayer or over the chest or over the ribs, whatever feels natural. Take wherever you want to put your hands and then just sink in. So make sure your feet are grounded into the ground. Your spine is nice and elevated. Close the eyes and focus just for a few moments on the breath. Taking deep, slow, steady inhale. Deep exhale. You want to be thinking about moving the ribs sideways, a little bit front and back, but more to the sides. One more breath. And then open the eyes. So we're going to start with some shoulder rotations to warm up through the shoulders. Round and round you go. Moving in the full circumference of that shoulder joint. And let's go back the other way. Again, trying not to forget about the breath, but trying to make sure you are aware that you're breathing and moving and breathing. Good. And then we're going to shrug all the way up and drop them down. So think about coming up, 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 and drop. Inhale, 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 hold, exhale. Inhale, 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 hold, exhale. One more, inhale, 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 hold, and exhale. Good, shake it out. Nice and loose. So you're going to bring the hands up, place your fingertips on the deltoids, and we want to take the backs of the hands together and then bring the elbows together. So it's up behind the head, up in front of the chest. Up behind the head, up in front of the chest. Up behind, up to the front, up behind, up the front. Good, couple more. Lovely, last time. And shrug it out, good. And release. So from there we're going to go to the floor and do some starting twisting. So we want to make the yoga mat at the wall. So today we're using the sofa here. And sitting with the legs crossed, and if you need a block or a blanket, I've actually got a blanket here, Margaret, it's probably easier to use. Bottom on that, legs uncrossed. Good. And make sure you're a distance from the wall or the sofa that you can do a twist to the back. So we're going to sit cross-legged, reach round behind, opposite hand can come across, or the feet or the knees, wherever it goes naturally. And just start to pull yourself around, gently pushing with the hand on the knee, and other arm on the wall or the chair. Making sure your chin is slightly in to the back of the neck, tries to stay in its neutral shape. One more breath. And exhale, come back to the side. The same arm that you had back, take it over your head and lean into it. So get a nice long stretch down the sides of the body. Again, shrug that shoulder down, away from the elbow, away from your ears. And inhale up. Let's take the other side. So you're turning, twisting, pressing the hand, twisting around, staying nice and elevated through the chest. Soft through the shoulders. Great. One more breath there. And then turning back to the side, to the front, and over you go. So this arm might be pressing further away, might have your arm, elbow down. Just go with whatever you feel you've got, but make sure the shoulders are soft away from the ears. And inhale, come up, and we'll just add a little forward bend from here. So you're going to walk yourself forward, tuck the chin in, and lengthen yourself forward. Stretching out through the back, buttocks, hamstrings, a little bit of hips. Good, but your emphasis today is on the breath and the shoulders. Staying nice and broad. Excellent. Inhale up. So we're going to go into tabletop. So we might just turn your mat back around. There we go. And hands and knees. And from there, we're going to do, it's a very good question, what are we doing? Just press the floor, extend back, take one arm up, and you're just going to let it swing underneath. So as it comes under, pull the tummy in, inhale up, exhale under. Inhale up, and this time take it all the way through. It's called thread the needle. You want to push it all the way through. Beautiful. So you have a couple of options with the arm. You can take the arm forward and press the floor. Okay, put it back on the ground for a moment just so everybody can see. Lovely. That's one option. Second option is skyward. And the third option is bending it and taking it behind you. So the key to this one is not to bring the shoulders too close to the knees. You're not trying to get into a little ball. You want to make sure that you feel that your pelvis and hips are directly over the knees. If you've got any knee issues, again, you may be omitting this one. Lovely. And then come out the way you went in. Always coming out the way you went in. And let's do the other arm. So you're going to go up with the arm, throw it under, up with the arm, inhaling, throw it under. And this time up with the arm, throw it under and stay under. Go all the way through. Just go a little bit further forward, Margaret, so you're not at the bottom. That's it. Beautiful. Stretch, stretch, stretch. So decide whether you want to stay on the fingertips forward, arm in the ear, or bending it behind. And remember, you've got different mechanisms on this side of the body. So what you did on the other side might have felt perfectly normal for you there. By the time you come to this side, it's a different side of your body, and you may have a whole lot of things going on here that are different. So don't be trying to force yourself into the same look on both sides. Gently bring yourself out and bring yourself forward. So one of Margaret's favourites, Child's Pose. We're just going to do it first of all with the knees nice and wide, and put your butt back towards your heels. Now that might not work for everybody, and if you need to put a prop there, it could be a block, a bolster, or just a simple cushion, and you're allowing yourself down. So Margaret's quite open through the hips and lower back here, so she's going down no problem at all. Some of you will be struggling to get down, so main thing is to build up the buttocks and press. So you might even want to stay on your fingertips. Good. And you can also do it with the block. So we're going to put the block out in front, extend forward and press down. A little bit more opening here through the shoulders, through the lats, and a lot more able to push back and sink into it. So it's a beautiful pose, and again, you could stay there for 1 or 2 minutes, and that might be just a pose that you do throughout the day whenever you're taking a break. So bringing yourself up from there, we're going to take ourselves into an unusual looking stretch. You want to first start down on your elbows and then your belly, and then bring your arms forward and a little bit of a cactus pose. So I'm going to roll away from you, Margaret. I'm going to push this arm up and leave this one on the floor. Take my head down and tilt over. So you may only stay with that there. You might want to bring the legs and put your feet side by side. That's up to you. And you're pushing away from the body. Twisting. Okay, then gently bring it back. I'm going to go a little bit further now. We're going to take that straight, the arm that you had straight. I want you now to bend it and come over. So it's going to be a little bit more of a movement. Go back to your belly for a moment. I threw an extra one in there. So this time come up again. Yep. So it's going to be a little bit more intense. Put your head down. There you go. So now because we've taken this arm on an angle, it's going to be a little bit more intense. And you can bring this top leg up to the knee to the ceiling, foot on the floor if you like. Yep, that's it. Push from there. So that's it. You're just opening through the hip, pressing through. Good. And gently through. So we'll do the other side. First one was with the arms out and the head down. And we'll push across. Oops, losing my head gap. Opening. So you'll have that arm pressing, this leg pressing, and come back to your belly and bend the arm that you just had straight on the side. Push it a little bit higher than the shoulder and go again. So this is a bit more intense. Opening through the chest. Leg can be optionally extended or knee to the ceiling. It's the side arm that's pressing and it's the back arm that's receiving the stretch. Gently bring yourself back to the middle, and we're going to come back up gently through the arms, back up, and just take yourself into child's pose one more time. This time we'll have a recovery child's pose. So we're going to bring the forehead down onto your forearms, soften and relax. Gently release yourself into the floor, breathing from there. Okay. And you've got a couple of options to finish. You could stay here and finish in child's pose, or you can come up into downward facing dog, just pressing, dropping the head, taking your head down, bending your knees as and when you see fit. Because we haven't stretched the hamstrings, it's always a good idea to make sure you're keeping the knees soft as you take that down dog. You'll find you've got a lot more openings through the shoulders and the upper body because of what we've done with the neck. Then walk your feet to the front, hang over, hold the hands behind the back of the head, just clasping. Let your knees soften so that your hamstrings are again taken out of the equation, and just gently push your elbows one side to the other. So I'm taking my elbows towards the midline, away from me and behind me, just gently twisting side to side. Good. And then from there, gently stand forward, press forward with your chest coming up to half a seated position, hands to the hips and bring yourself up with the back nice and straight. Shrugs through the shoulders, checking in with the body, feeling how you feel. And we'll come back to our breath. Let's bring the hands to the heart. Just feel yourself grounded, feet into the floor, spine nice and tall, and the breath soft and gentle. A couple of deep, slow, steady breaths to re-center. And when you're ready, open the eyes. Thanks for joining us. Namaste.
Jimmy, I should write some notes in to do with that one, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I missed a
Some
couple.
Alexander notes.
That was 12:29.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
So when would I do the talking to bring in a bit of Alexander? At the end, maybe, or at the beginning?
That's a good question. How would you bring it in? What were you going to say would be the question?